Hello, thank you for stopping by. My name is Ruby, this is Ruby Red, and today I'm doing a scavenger hunt to pick my next read. I saw a couple of people do this recently, specifically Kayla from Books and Lala did it, I think for the second time, and then Erin from Booked and Busy also did it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that too. I've only seen this done by people who have a big bookshelf, which I do not. Basically, there are 9 different prompts that you have to find in various books on your shelf, or in my case on my shelf and in my Goodreads, and then at the end you end up with a book that you have to read or you can read, I guess. I'm gonna read, at least. So I pre-screened all of the different prompts, and I noted which ones I needed to find a book that fits the prompt that's from my actual shelf, because you need to look through the book, but some of them just have to do with words in the title or the author's name, and so those can be books that I don't actually have. So the questions are going to be in the description box below, and I will include my little notes regarding books that you have to be able to open, and we're just going to see if this works, because I really don't know if it's going to work. But okay, I have the questions, I have my Goodreads open, I am ready to go. Let's pick my next read. Okay, the first prompt is grab your favorite book, and this has to be a book on my shelf. Is it? No. Oh, okay. It's Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Okay, go to the acknowledgments, and the first name you see, find a book by an author with the same name. Okay. Let's try to find the acknowledgments. Okay. These are plants. Give me a person. Robert. Finally. Okay, Robert. Find a book by an author with the same name, and this does not have to be on my shelf, but I'm gonna look on my shelf. Okay, we're gonna go to Goodreads. And, I'm gonna pick Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. Okay, so we have our second book. Here she is. Pick something on that cover, and then find another book with that thing in the title. And my next book has to be on my shelf. So pick something on this cover. Oh God. Okay, a key. There's a hand, a moon, a fire, a window, a girl, a city. So pick a book with that thing in the title. Okay. Of Women and Salt, women, there is, I said girl, but really she's a woman on the cover of this book. So our next book is Of Women and Salt. Okay, go to page 50, line 5, pick a word from that line and find a title with that word. So we're gonna go back to Goodreads for that one, potentially. Okay, page 50. I have not read this book. Page 50, line 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She is surely a bird, surely a migrating bird doing battle. Okay, so she, and bird, and yeah, she and bird are feeling like the words that I can find. Nothing on my shelf. We will go to Goodreads. Let's try bird. Okay, Boy Snowbird by Helen Oyeyemi. And that's that. Okay. I didn't rate this, and I don't remember it at all, but I think I did like it, but I also think that Helen Oyeyemi's books are rated really lowly, because really low. They're rated poorly because her writing is very weird. Okay. Title with that word. Find a 5-star read with the same colors on the cover. Oh my god. Okay. So it's like green and pink. So we're gonna go to my red shelf and we're going to sort by rating and pick a 5-star book that is like green, mostly green with black and pink on it. Oh my god. Okay, Prodigal Summer by Barbara Kingslover, maybe. Who else? Nothing to see here. No, there's no pink on that. It's just the same kind of like minty green. Mexican Gothic, I gave 5 stars. That has like green and that like reddish. So I feel like that's really like not the same pink at all. I guess this is like mostly green and like grayish green. I think I'm gonna say Prodigal Summer by Barbara Kingslover. Okay, this is a book I read years and years ago, but it was like one of my first like nature writing kind of books. It's not nonfiction, it's a novel, but it has a lot of like you know, ecological stuff in it. Okay, what's the prompt? The same class and cover. Find a book with the same number of pages. And that book has to be on my bookshelf, so we'll see about that. How many pages does this have? 444. Great. Let's see how to do this on Goodreads. Number of pages. We'll sort by that so that we can then find what we need to find. Maybe we won't find it though. I'm just gonna, the closest that I can get is just what we're gonna have to do, obviously. Okay, so, yeah, I don't have any of those. So 444 on my shelf, the closest one. Oh, this says Big Little Lies. No, it doesn't. It says 9 Perfect Strangers, but my copy has more pages than that. My copy has more than 500 pages. So I don't think I want to count that. But I might have to. Okay, The Body Keeps the Score allegedly has 400. No, those are all notes though. No. Goodreads, why? Yeah, the actual book ends on page 358. So that's a no. Maybe I just have to search through some of these. 400. What is that? 500. 4. This? This is 369. No, that's 500. Not it. 367. No. So like all these are way over 500. Like 340. Okay, so this is the closest so far. Okay, 369. Let's see what else. 600. No, how's English? 600. 360. Since you're still winning. 800. You really have all size. Okay, wait then. 365. What is this? 369. 3. Oh my god. That's so closer. Ah! What about this? Huh? Oh. Okay, 422. Okay, we're going with it because all my books are on the floor. Okay, book with the same number of pages. Flip to any page, the first name you see, find a book by an author who shares that name. Oh no. This is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, which I'm supposed to be buddy reading. This is probably the book I should pick up next. Okay. Aureliano, unlikely. Gerinaldo Marquez. Oh, Marquez. For example, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Okay, but I could pick a different book by this author, so. Oh, actually I have it now. Love in the Time of Cholera. So find another title with the same number of letters. Okay. 22 letters. How am I supposed to figure this out? All my books are on the floor. Okay. 22 letters. Under the Banner of Heaven. Find a book with a similar cover that's on my shelf. Oh! Not only is it the same author, but the covers I always felt were very similar. I feel like they look good on a shelf together. They have like a white bottom, the same font, than the whatever the book is about on the top. I'm taking that. This is Into Thin Air with a similar cover. And now, I'm exhausted. Flip to a random page, point at a word, and find that word in a book title. And that's the book I will read. So flip to a, this is gonna be bad. Flip to a page, point at a word. So I'm gonna flip to a page. Actually, let's start like kind of near the beginning-ish. This word, climbers, and 5. 5 is more likely. Let's try 5. Climbers. That's pretty unlikely. Okay, that was a bust. So, like I could, you know, I could find one from the library or something, but I would rather pick one that I like actually have. Oh, I have some books on my Kindle, but nothing with 5 or climber in it. So I'm gonna flip to a different page. I'm gonna pick this word. There's no word there. But season. Do I have a book that has season? That was the closest word. Nope, because why would I? None of this is on. It's of. Where's the? Why can't I land on the? It's gotta say the in this book. Does it say it over here? The! I did that. I did that. The. Okay. The. There's a bunch. So that's annoying in a different way. I could read Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, or The Terror Dream, The Yellow House, The Arbornaut, The God of Small Things, The Seed Keeper. I think it's between these two. How do I pick now? I shouldn't have picked up 2. I should just read this one because this is the first one that I saw. So, Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. I did almost read this for my 24-hour readathon, but I guess I'm going to be reading it now instead. I think it's just about a weird kind of woman in a remote Polish village who she prefers animals to humans, and that makes her like weird. And then I think like, I don't know if it's like witchy or just like sinister, but I think that this is like kind of a question of like morals and like just like behavior, and I don't know. I think that there are some like philosophical moral issues explored. So I'll be reading this book. Thank you for scavenger hunting with me. There are books everywhere. This was very hard to do as somebody who has a small bookshelf. Probably I shouldn't have picked Into Thin Air, a book that most of the words are about climbing, and most of my books are not about climbing. But I feel like I did a good job. So this is my next read. I'm gonna read the first chapter of this and then come right back and tell you what I think. Okay, I've read the first chapter of Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, and I am very much more intrigued than I even was before. I went into this knowing pretty much nothing about it other than that I thought it was like about ethics and morals. And in the first chapter, we're introduced to our main character and two of her neighbors. It seems like they live in a remote town in the mountains, and most of the people there only live there during the summer. So in the winter months, it's pretty much just her, our main character, and her two neighbors, neither of whom she likes very much, and one of them is actually dead. I'm also just finding the narrator's like voice and like prose to be very intriguing. So I think that this is going to be a very, well, I was going to say fun. I don't think it's going to be fun, but I think it's going to be an interesting read, and I think that it's going to be thought-provoking. And I kind of don't want to say anything else about it because I think if anyone is at all interested in reading this book, it seems to me like maybe just like diving in is better than really knowing what you're in for, but I guess I won't know until I finished it. Anyway, I'm really pleased with how my little scavenger hunt turned out in the end, even though there was a really rough patch there. But yeah, thank you for stopping by and watching me struggle to pick my next read. I appreciate every like, comment, and subscribe, so keep them coming, and I'll see you back here next week for another video. Bye!